Hello everybody, my name is Tenelin, and today we're going to be talking about the newest treasure maps that were released in Dawntrail, which just got an update in patch 7.05 to add the new treasure dungeons, the Sino Jaja Gural. Treasure maps are a fantastic and fun way to make some gil, get some unique loot, and even earn some elegant tombstones. They're a pretty casual piece of content to do, and in my opinion, one of the most fun. Now, all of this information does apply to all types of treasure maps, with the main difference just being the type of the treasure dungeon you'll get, the rewards, and the maps that you'll have to explore. For those who don't know, treasure maps are a semi-casual side content that you have to find a map in the wild where you're given a picture of a small portion of the map, and you have to then find the location of on the world map and go digging to find the treasure chest. The chests are guarded by some mobs that you'll have to kill, and occasionally they can spawn a portal to a treasure dungeon. Depending on the level of the map, you'll want to join up with a group of people to be able to easily clear the content. For the Dawntrail treasure maps, I recommend having at least 4 or 5 people, 1 tank, 1 healer, and as many DPS as you can get after that. The fights are by no means hard, but it does help speed things up and ensure you don't have any accidents that cause you to wipe and lose your treasure. There are more perks to bringing more people along though. The standard way that public groups of maps are run is to have everybody bring between 2 to 3 maps, and each person opens theirs in a rotation and you do them as a group. This allows you to run up to 8 times more maps than you have, which increases the amount of rewards you get significantly. The rewards in treasure maps do vary, but you'll always get guaranteed rewards of both gil and elegant tombstones. If you're doing the Dawntrail ones, that means you'll get aesthetics and heliometry tombstones, and every single person that completes the maps always gets the same amount. For example, if you get a portal to a treasure dungeon and you complete the first of 5 zones inside it, you and everyone in the party will each get 3,000 gil and a guaranteed 2 heliometry tokens. As you get further into the dungeon, you can get up to 100,000 gil per person if you get to the 5th room and beat the boss. These don't show all of the rewards that you get. You will have plenty of times where you'll get some bonus rewards, bonus gil, additional tombstones of aesthetics, and just various other pieces of loot. But the most important thing is that there is no loss in rewards for having more players in this aspect. The only downside of grouping with others is that if unique loot does drop, you will have to roll against them in order to win it, just as you would with any other dungeon or instance content loot. This is offset by the fact that you have way more maps to run as a group, so I think in the end it all works out. Rather than doing 2 by yourself, you can do up to 16 with a group of 8, so you see much more loot and you get much more base gil and tomes just doing those. Let's break down everything you need to know about treasure maps though. To unlock them, you do need to do the quick level 36 quest, Treasures and Tribulations, that you can start by talking to Hlunth in Eastern Lenosia at around 2121. This is a quick quest that will just teach you how maps work. Once you finish that up, you need to find your own map, and there are a few ways that you can get them. You can gather a map at various nodes throughout the world. For the newest Dawntrail map, any of these nodes here are the ones you're looking for. You're looking for any level 100 node that is not an unspoiled node. I personally always go to gather the Yoctel spring water, as I always need some anyway for my crafting, and it's close to an aetheryte. You can find that here. The Brock skin map is the newest 8-man map with the potential to get a portal for the new Dawntrail treasure dungeon, so this is the one that I'm going to be talking about. Now there is a limit to how many maps you can find. You can only get one every 18 hours. You can actually track this in your timer menu, which is Control U by default, and this will allow you to see when your map allowance resets. Even if you aren't planning on running your maps, you should still be gathering these daily for some quick gil, especially whenever a new patch with a new map is added. These maps were selling for 70,000 gil each on patch day, and they take about 30 seconds to gather once a day. I think they're well worth doing even if you don't plan on running them. You can also get one from completing your Wondrous Tales every week, even if you do not hit any lines. Now the weird part about these maps is that you can only have one of them in each inventory, as they are unique. This means you can have one in your main inventory, one in your saddlebag, one deciphered, which puts it into your key items, and then one on each of the retainers that you have. In general, just having the one for yourself, your saddlebag, and deciphered is all you really need, especially if you're joining any of the public groups. Once you've gathered your map, open it up with the Decipher option, which can be found in your Actions and Traits under General. This is the button that you unlocked when you did the level 36 quest, Treasures and Tribulations. You'll get a small image like this that pops up on your screen, and it will tell you which map it's from. There are only a limited number of areas in each map that they can spawn, and I think it's somewhere between 3 to 5 as a rough guess. I'm not exactly sure how many. As you do more and more of the maps, it will get easier to spot, but for now you'll have to scour your map trying to match the section that you're shown to the world map so that you can find where your chest is hidden. Once you do, go to the location with your party and attempt to open the chest. Some mobs will spawn, and you'll have to kill them, and then you can open the chest again to get your loot. There is a chance that a portal does spawn above the chest, and the map owner will have to interact with it to load you all into the portal to visit the treasure dungeon. This specific type of dungeon is a path of 5 rooms that you'll need to kill some mobs on each level, open your chest, and then make your choice of which path you think is right. There are 2 doors available for you, left and right. Whoever opened the portal is the one that can make the final decision, so wish them good luck and see what happens. Now, there are some special events that can happen inside of here that will change up how things are run through, so let's talk about some of those. First off, occasionally, the correct path will be lit up with a bunch of rainbow-colored lights and a little indicator telling you which door is the correct one to go to. Be sure to keep an eye out if it's your dungeon. It's pretty obvious if you're looking for it, but I have seen some people not notice when they were looking at the other door already and they ended up choosing wrong. Speaking of choosing wrong though, you will know because the door will slam down in front of you and you will start to get kicked out. But there is an occasion when you pick the wrong door. Right before you get kicked out of the dungeon, it shows you some mercy and lights up the arena with some rainbow lights that force the door to open. It's completely random, but always cross your fingers if you're getting kicked out that it saves you. During combat, there are 3 different special mob sets that can spawn while you're fighting as well. The first one is the Golden Ulan of Fortune, and when you kill him, he will drop an additional special treasure chest that's filled with gil and even more loot. I've seen these have up to 30,000 gil for everyone, so be sure to grab them. Make sure to kill these as soon as they spawn, because the rumor is that they will go away if you kill all of the other mobs before them, but to be honest, I have never had it happen, so I have no clue if that's true. I just personally would rather be safe than sorry, so I always do kill these guys first. The next is the Alpaca of Fortune, which again is just another golden mob that runs around and will drop more loot if killed as well. Not much different from the Ulan, other than they're a little harder to spot because they are smaller. Now, I have seen a combination of both of these spawning at the same time, so just always be keeping your eye out for any of these special spawns. The final ones that you'll see though are the Seedkin. And now these guys are special as they all have numbers associated with them and you must kill them in order to be able to get the extra loot they drop. They're pretty easy to kill, they have very low amounts of HP and all they do is run around, so do be careful with your AoE damage. It is advised to only single target focus them. They are labeled with the 1 through 5 and you kill in order 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The 5th one, the Queen, will drop some loot once you've done that successfully. The final unique event can happen after you've defeated all of the mobs. Once you go to open up your chest, you'll occasionally be prompted to gamble. Now this is a high and low gamble that you can choose to do. It will show you what rewards you will get and what rewards you can get if you win the gamble. You can repeat this gamble up to 4 times to get 5 times the amount of the original loot. If you choose to gamble, you will have one card that is yours on the left, and then you have to choose whether you think the one on the right is going to be higher or lower. The numbers can be anywhere between 1 to 9. The high-low gamble is one of my favorite mechanics of treasure dungeons because it really just puts a little bit of extra fun into them. The loot on these can be even the unique loots that you can get for the new gear, for the new glams, even the minion that's available only from the 5th boss otherwise. Just make sure to have fun and don't get mad if somebody loses, unfortunately. Between each round though, you do have the ability to cash out or continue, so just keep that in mind. If you do the first one and you win, and say a 5 pops up, maybe you don't feel like going anymore, and you can go ahead and cash out with double your loot. Or you can continue pressing on, it's completely up to you. Be careful though, if you lose, you do not get any of the loot. That's everything though. Keep pushing through each of the rooms and hope that you hit the 5th and final room where you will encounter a boss that must be defeated, which will give everyone 100,000 gil and has a high chance to get some unique loot from the chest. Thank you all very much for watching, and if you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a like. Be sure to subscribe and check out my Ko-fi link if you want to support me making more videos in the future.